Hey, hey, Chris and Raphael and Super Silver the Hedgehog. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about how to have an emotional connection with someone, right? We watch these dating shows. I just watched Married at First Sight, Australian version, and yes, I know I said hi to you. And it's talking about like marriage and dating. So I want to talk about something I've learned through going on many dates. How do you have emotional connection with someone? Because when you first meet a stranger, how do you connect on an emotional level? I think that's like your time. How do you actually No, I just say mentioned you and then it tags everyone. So how do you actually have emotional connection with someone you just met? Because you feel nervous, right? You talk about how you feel, and that's actually how you have an emotional connection. So for example, if you're feeling anxious or there's something in your life that's going on, a situation, what I do is, I feel like a lot of times guys ramble on. They're like, "Okay, so, like, I'm really nervous, so, like, okay, so I love to go skiing, and I love to go running, and I love to go, like, my work and blah, 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 blah." That's all great, but that's actually not what you need to focus on. Hi. What you need to focus on is, this is what I do. "Hey, I think your stories are great, but can I first tell you how I feel?" Okay, this is how I feel. This week, something very crazy happened to me and blah 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 blah, and I felt so and so and so. So when that person that you just met, say on a first date, hear about how you've been feeling, they're understanding and cognizant of, okay, this is what she's been going through right now, this is how she feels. They are now emotionally connecting with you because they understand your emotional state. Like, this is not something that a lot of people teach. Like, oh yeah, show your best self and laugh and giggle and be like, ha ha ha, your jokes are so funny. No. What you need to connect on dates is you need to connect on an emotional level. It's not about you sitting there pretending to be happy and joyful and saying a lot of interesting things to make someone laugh, and no, it's actually to connect. Someone said, "I'd rather not have emotions, just wanted to be single forever and alone from future." That's not true. I know you want to date. Um, so how do you have an emotional connection with someone? Hey, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Can I tell you how I feel? Well, for example, someone I met was rambling on about his story and his family and all. I was like, hey, I feel a little bit overwhelmed. How are you actually feeling right now? Oh, actually, I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, cool. I'm cognizant of how you're feeling. Okay, well, can I tell you how I feel? And it's not like you're talking to a child because you're literally talking to a man, a grown man, or like if you're a woman, you're talking to a man. But how do you connect on an emotional level in your life? It's not just talking about superficial things. Okay, cool, I did great in school and like at work, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, okay, well, I feel nervous because this is the first time I'm meeting you and I haven't been on a date in a long time. Or I feel anxious because this happened at work, or I'm scared. Like for me, I'm vulnerable to the point that I say I'm scared to get hurt. So I feel emotionally disconnected right now, just being honest. I have my walls up and I'm scared to be vulnerable. Hi. So this is the biggest secret I've learned through going on a lot of dates. And learning how to communicate how I feel, how to connect with someone on a deep emotional level. Okay, someone just said, I pity myself being so pathetic. But you are not pathetic. When it comes to love and romance and marriage, it targets our deepest fear that we may be unlovable and unworthy of love. We're scared that we are not enough. We're scared that we will be disposed of. So, as you go on dates, as you meet people, as you talk to whoever you're interested in, a man, woman, or you're just putting yourself out there, these fears are going to come up. The fear of being unworthy, the fear of not being enough, the fear of being less than, the insecurities and the jealousies that come up. Like, I remember being on a date where some guy was basically staring at another girl's ass in front of me. And it hit me in my heart, and I felt like, what the hell? What's going on? Why is this dude like checking out another girl? And guess what I did? Instead of being silent, I told him, hey, are you checking out that girl's ass? And of course, I didn't say that right away, but I said it when we got to the car. We will talk later, okay? I know you're going through a situation, but like, you're enough, okay? All of you, you're enough. So, vulnerability means you go first. It's not like you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, this guy's boring. Like, he's just talking about his mom. He's talking about his favorite video games. Oh my gosh, he's so boring. No, be vulnerable and say, hey, to be honest, I'm not really interested in video games, but I want to tell you how I feel right now. I want to connect on an emotional level. Because there are times where I'm very emotional because of something that's been going on. And say someone just keeps going on about a story I have no interest in. And to be honest, I am emotionally disconnected from the story. I think a lot of times we go through life being emotionally disassociated, disconnected. And we sit there pretending to be interested. We're like, oh, that's cool. But no, there's something in your heart. What is in your heart? And so what I've learned is this is honestly the biggest secret to connecting with a human being, not just a partner, not just a girlfriend, boyfriend, on a deep, deep, deep emotional level is to say how you actually feel in the moment. Instead of, you're talking about all these irrelevant things, but you're not emotionally connected. Hey, can I tell you how I feel right now? I feel a little bit overwhelmed by all the things that you're telling me because this is on my heart right now. I feel overwhelmed. I feel whatever you feel. And this brings such deep emotional connection into your relationships and friendships that you're going to experience love on a deep emotional level. When I tell people how I feel, I cry, I laugh. I didn't used to be able to cry in front of my own mother. I couldn't cry in front of some friends. But now I can cry and emote and be emotionally available. Instead of running away and saying, I can't do this right now, I'm just going to go cry in my house alone. I cry in front of people because that's emotional availability. That's emotional vulnerability. How do you connect with someone on a deep emotional level, even on the first date? Is that you don't just randomly talk about random factoids. You actually tell them how you feel and what you've been feeling in your life. For example, hey, I've been feeling really alone and have a huge desire for marriage. Or hey, I've been stressed out at work and I feel less than with my boss because of the way he's treating me. Or I'm nervous because this is the first time I've met you and I don't know how to be and how to act, but I just want to be myself with you. I want to see the real you. Or I feel like you're kind of faking it. I feel like you're pretending to be something in front of me that you're not. Just being totally honest. And I feel like the more honest you are with your friends, with dates, with strangers, the more you're going to attract what you actually want because you are honest about what you want. You're not faking it. You're not pretending. You are putting it out there. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. And that is not what I'm looking for. For example, I had someone smoke weed in front of me, and I'm like, I used to be okay with that in my 20s. And I will still allow people to smoke around me. But I definitely don't want to be with someone who smokes weed. I'm not 420 friendly. That does not mean I don't know how to relax, that I'm closed-minded. I allow my friends to do whatever the hell they want with their life because it's their life. But as far as my husband, my soulmate, I know for sure that he is someone that does not touch weed because I don't want that. And it doesn't mean I'm not relaxed or I'm strict or I'm religious or structured. It just, those are not my preferences. I don't like weed. I don't like the smell of it. And I don't want anyone that does that. And call me goody two-shoes, but I've never been attracted to drugs. And I've never tried it. I've tried weed, and I've had the horrible experience with weed cakes, and I threw up for like 3 hours. So like, I never ever touched it again, right? So it doesn't mean that I'm not relaxed. I was just like, I'm 33, I know what I want now. I have dated enough to know what I want, and the more that I've learned what it is that I want, the more I'm vocal and verbal about it. A lot of people are like, okay, one of the things that people like come to me about is like, okay, so you're waiting till marriage to have sex, so you're a virgin. You're not gonna find anyone in LA that are waiting till marriage. First of all, I found 5 to 6 guys in LA that are virgins just last year. I've met a lot of guys that are celibate and waiting till marriage. And yes, they're Christian, some of them. I've even met Muslim guys that are waiting because of their religion. But yes, that's a misconception and a lie that they're not guys that are waiting. Not every guy in LA is a manhole, okay? Man whore. Like, you're funny. Uncomfortable by marriage? Yes, it is so uncomfortable. The whole process of becoming emotionally available and vulnerable is an uncomfortable process. The whole journey of becoming right for your partner, for the person God has ordained for you, is really freaking uncomfortable. You do not know how many days I cried out of 2020. I put myself out there, okay? You know, I went on dates. I experienced so much heartache. You don't even know. I probably cried like once every single day. Like, I experienced disappointment. I experienced hopelessness. I experienced like, God, can I actually get what I want, God? I experienced millions of emotions, like so many. I'm like, I've never experienced these many emotions in my whole life. Like, God, why? And he's like, I'm making you emotionally available. I'm preparing you for maturity and what you're going to encounter in marriage and like being prepared for the one that God has for you. And I also want to submit to you that the one God has for you, your personality is not going to clash all the freaking time. And I just want to say that if you are hanging out with people that you're clashing and fighting with all the time, they're probably not a good friend or partner, because it should be complementary. For example, I am very expressive. So I don't need another very, very expressive person, because like I need like a sounding board. You know what I mean? Like I need someone who like knows how to listen but is a very attentive and listens well, attentive, but also knows how to react and be, participating, things like that, but also has their point of view, but isn't the type that's gonna clash with me, because I am a challenger and I stand up for what I believe and I express myself. I don't work well with people who always want to fight, because I'm literally just expressing myself. I'm not trying to be right or wrong. I'm not trying to debate with you. I'm literally an artist. So I express myself. I just speak and express. I mean, as you can tell, I'm making a live video and I can talk for an hour or 2 hours if I really wanted to. I could literally talk for 10 hours. I've never tried that, but I could. And also, I'm very hot right now. So I'm going to turn off the heater. Oh my god. Yes, someone has a question. So that's the secret. No, I can't do 20 hours. Maybe, I don't know. But literally, like, I realized that the secret to connection is emotional vulnerability. Is stating how you actually feel, instead of, like, a lot of people use politics. They use like the coronavirus as like ways to attack each other, when actually they're like, oh, I'm heartbroken because I just went through a breakup. Well, say that. Like, be vulnerable, right? And then, so the best way to connect, especially on a first date, is to state how you actually feel. And I know that's super weird, but I talk to people like for the first time on the phone like they're my best friend. So yeah, guess what I was watching? I was watching Married at First Sight, blah blah blah. Oh, I just tag everyone. I just say mentioned you. That's so funny. That's how I get people to watch it, you know? Anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. God bless you. Bye. Thank you.